Few things bring communities together like high school sports. The passion, the drama, the atmosphere, the tremendous thrill of victory, and the agonizing pain of defeat. There's nothing like it, and nobody in Oklahoma brings you all of that better than Squirtle. So sit back, hold on, and get ready for another thrilling ride, because it's time once again for the Squirtle Game of the Week.
We are live from Ranger Field on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University in Alva. Welcome to the Squirrel Game of the Week, featuring the number 1 ranked Oklahoma Bible Academy Trojans against the number 4 ranked Seiling Wildcats in the Class B state semifinals. The winner of this game moves on to the state championship game to play for a gold ball next Friday. The loser goes home after a terrific season to put on the basketball shoes. Good evening, Andy Campbell here, and I am joined in the booth tonight by Adam Diesehorst. Adam, let's start with something that we didn't have planned. You and I went down to the field about 10 minutes ago to hang a banner, and all of a sudden we have a wind coming in from the north here that's really going to affect play tonight.
I mean, it is whipping. I mean, you know, our state song says it, and we're proving it here right now. That flag over there is about to blow off the pole, and that is obviously going to be a big impact on this game. But looking forward to this game. Andy, you know, we talked about having covered this game before in the Squirtle Network previously, back early in the season. Obviously, OBA victorious 58-34, but that game was kind of unique. OBA jumped out to a big lead, and Seiling fought back and got the game close. And then really that third quarter by OBA, how they played in that game was kind of the way they've been playing the rest of the year. Really, kept the ball on the ground, kept the ball away from the other team. We saw them do that last week against Dewar with another impressive performance. But anyone would tell you late in the season, both these teams are different. Seiling kind of had to deal with a little bit of adversity, having lost their quarterback during that game, and I know he's back and playing well. And really with OBA stayed relatively healthy throughout the season, which is, I tell people this all the time, especially in small school, your Class A, your Class B, Class C, you have to stay healthy. And a lot of the teams that end up hoisting a gold ball at the end of the year, there's a few common denominators: health, depth, and a little bit of luck. And I know that good teams kind of create their own luck, but those are variables that are very important. But you mentioned the wind, and this is going to be a big deal. I mean, obviously, OBA does like to throw the ball. They are a team that obviously can run the ball. Same thing with Seiling, too, as well. Seiling likes to put the ball up, too, as well. I'm telling you, if you're going towards the north end zone, you're going to have a tough time throwing it. If you're kicking towards the north end zone, you're going to have a tough time kicking it, or if you're punting. So really going to be a true test for these teams tonight.
It's going to be very interesting to see how these coaches handle this, because like I said, just 10 minutes ago, we had relatively calm winds here while the teams were warming up, and they did not even have a chance to prepare for the weather that they are now going to be facing here in 3 minutes when we kick this football game off. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the coaches and the players adjust on the field without having any time to prepare for this wind.
Well, another thing too, Andy, is how are you dressed? Because it was 70 degrees about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and I bet you by about the third quarter of this game, I'm going to say the temps are going to be in the 40s. That happens this time of the year. So, man, look at the field goal post whipping around down there on the other end. So, talking about some of the key players to watch in this game, Andy, obviously we mentioned a few of the kids in the intro, but it's Cody Peaster for Seiling Wildcats. He's a dynamic athlete. I always like to mention the big guys up front. Seiling has a great offensive and defensive line. We mentioned Caden Manuel. I'm a big fan of Hudson Hamer. I think he's a possession receiver type kid. He just does a lot of things right. And then on the other side of the ball, I'm going to go with some people that you most commonly won't hear about. I was really impressed last week with the offensive and defensive line for OBA. I thought that, when you make as long of a run and you win as many games as OBA has, I mean, yeah, the Cheathams and the Boydstons and Jacob Colby, those type of players are why you have the record you have. But the difference in winning it or not comes with what kind of effort you get up front. And there was one particular play that I thought in that game that was really impressive to me. Dewar had just drove all the way down the field after the first half of that game, with it still being a 2-score game, and looked like they were going to score a touchdown. OBA came up with a huge stop, And then about the third play of the next offensive possession for OBA, Cheatham goes about 80 yards, and on that run, Caldwell ran with him for about 50 yards of it and made it hard for the defender to tackle him. He didn't get to where he could tackle him until about the 10. And it's plays like that from what you would quote-unquote call role players that make a difference in games like this.
Adam, you mentioned it. 2 big wins for both of these teams last week. OBA 45, Dewar, in what I had called the Class B game of the year. Didn't turn out to be that way. And then also Seiling had a 46-0 win over Wetumpka in the quarterfinals. And that's how we get here tonight to the semifinal action in Alva. And I'll just tell you, fans, our camera looks a little bit blurry. I promise it's not a problem with the Squirtle camera. That is a good Oklahoma red dirt flying across the field here. So that's the blur that you're seeing on your TV screen. This weather is really crazy as we get this kickoff going here in just a couple of minutes.
And one thing I want to mention, too, we will be joined live with the OBA Trojans.tv crew. We're very thankful to be here with them. Scott Hofen is going to be helping us. And we're going to have a few other guests, too, as well, that are going to be on with the call, and Andy will be able to introduce them, too, as well. Wanted to mention, too, big props to Tyler Kerr. Tyler has played on this field, I believe. Isn't that right, Tyler? You have not played on this field. Okay, he's played on this field one time. He's a former 8-man. I'm going to make his head a little big. He's a heck of a player, Paul Creek Hunter. So he has no excuse for not running the camera well in this game because he understands the kind of temporary sidelines and all those kind of things that most people commonly don't see whenever they're not used to playing on an 11-man field.
Adam just mentioned temporary sidelines. So you fans watching at home, you're used to seeing the big white lines there where the teams are. But you've got to become familiar with a little white line that signals the out of bounds since the fields are more narrow in an 8-man football game. So just be aware of that. Hopefully the teams help us out, move forward a little bit on their sideline. As you can see, the wind already affected the game, ball falling off the tee here on the opening kickoff. OBA is 13-0 on the season. They are the champion of District B2, although they were picked number 5 out of 6 teams in the preseason coaches poll for that district. Seiling is 12-1. Their only loss this year to OBA that we previously talked about. So this is going to be a great football game here on Friday night in Alva.
Straight through the end zone.
The kickoff appearance through the end zone for the touchback. We brought out will be Seiling. Ball first and 10.
Adam, let's talk about this Seiling offense, obviously led by their star quarterback, number 9, Caden Manuel. He is a player that can do it all for the Seiling Wildcats.
Yeah, you're going to see, obviously, a lot of him running the ball. They're very multiple in offense with the Peaster kid in the backfield, but also he can put it out there in the air, too, as well. It's going to be interested in that north wind, how successful he is with that.
And Seiling hands it off to Peaster on their first play from scrimmage. Gets maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards there on first down, brings up a second and long for the Wildcats. Manuel keeps it himself, off right tackle. Gets a couple of yards there. It's going to bring up a third down and 5. Obviously a big play for both teams here as they're starting this game off and trying to get some control.
I apologize to the fans that were out there. We were having an echoing issue, and it's because we're all sitting in the same booth, and so the camera's in here with us. So we're trying to get adjusted technology. Thank you, Don Ann Mendenhall, for letting us know that.
Shovel pass there by Manuel falls incomplete. There's a flag on the play.
I think that it looks like it will be on Seiling. It'll be holding. So obviously good first stop here early on by OBA.
It is holding on the Seiling offense. So it'll be bringing up 4th and 5 for the Wildcats. Let's see what they do here on 4th down.
Goodness, I know. And, this is one thing, Andy. I know you watch a lot of 8-man games, and anybody that's not familiar with it, you're limited on numbers of kids that you have, so it's very rare to have a kicker that can really put the ball out there. But both of these teams are really good at special teams. OBA, we've seen their kicker, even when the wind's not blowing 80 miles an hour, kick it through the end zone. So
They are going to punt it.
That's about like what you want to do.
Low right drive, and Judd Cheatham takes it for OBA, and he is across the 40, almost to the 35-yard line. So we can have a short field here for OBA, and there's an injured player down for Seiling.
Yeah, that is
Looks
number 45 for Seiling. That is Newt Hutchison.
He is good to see him back up, has his helmet on, and he's going to maybe come out of the game here just for a play. It looks like he's doing okay. Well, Adam, let's talk about this OBA offense, obviously led by their star quarterback, number 7, Bodie Boydston.
Yeah, so they're very multiple. They are run first. Usually out of this formation, you see a lot of quarterback lead, and they throw a lot of bubble.
Boydston keeping it himself,
Good
bouncing
run.
it outside. Good, tough physical run there for Bodie Boydston, and he picks up 6 yards on first down for the Trojans.
I like the adjustment there by OBA. That is a formation that they run where they obviously, you heard me mention, they like to run quarterback lead out of that, but Coach Chaot obviously added a little wrinkle in there as he cut back to the twin side of the field. Normally he's running that kind of towards our side of the field.
Boydston has Cheatham and also Ian Easton there in the backfield with him. Hands off to Cheatham, coming around right side.
Great job by Hutchison for Seiling.
Hutchison back in the game for the Wildcats after being injured on that punt return, and he makes a big stop there on Judd Cheatham, which brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Trojans.
Fantastic play. They had him on the edge blocked, and if you're an edge defender, you want to keep everything inside of you and stretch that play out. And I'm telling you, Cheatham's hard to bring down in the open field, and he brought him down.
Let's see what Coach Chaot dials up here on 3rd down for the Trojans as they are on Seiling 32-yard line.
This is going to be obviously a 2-play type scenario. You're going to know that you have 2 plays in the bag here. Great job by Seiling up the middle.
Boydston lunges forward for about 2 yards, gets to almost the 30-yard line. It's going to bring up a big 4th and 4 here for the Trojans on their opening drive.
Yeah, and that's big number 52 in the middle there, Colton Bowen. He is clogging the middle on that play, and that time both linebackers impressive there. Blake Chain and obviously Manuel there on the stop.
Handoff to Cheatham coming right
Great
side.
job.
Man, big stop there again by Newt Hutchison. He had a good defensive series there for the Wildcats.
Hutchison, both those times did not get blocked at all, and so big stop there by Seiling. Man, this wind is just whipping. I mean, I think there's tumbleweeds from North Dakota blowing across the field at the moment. This is incredible.
Good old northwestern Oklahoma. Weather changes in about 10 minutes. So here is Seiling with their second offensive possession of the game. Couldn't do much on their first drive, but again, they're going against the wind here. So going to be interesting to see if Seiling will has enough trust in their quarterback to put it up in the air against this wind.
Yeah, I mean, the ball, it can't even be put down. I mean, one of the things, the weather is always a big factor. We talk about that in the playoffs. You never know what kind of weather you're going to come up with against here in Oklahoma, but this wind is, you'd almost want to play in rain or snow or cold weather, something.
Manuel hands off to Peaster in the backfield, and Peaster runs off left guard there for about 3 yards. Brings up a 2nd and 7 for Seiling.
That was Boydston there again. OBA makes it so tough to run against. They are really stout up the middle, and their 2 edge players, with Colby and Boydston, make it tough.
Adam, I was really impressed with the physicality of this OBA defense last week against Dewar.
Yeah, and you're going to see that from Seiling too as well. This is going to be a tough pass there. Boy,
knocked in the air and falls incomplete. Could have been a big play there for the OBA defense.
I think it's going to be pass interference.
We do have a flag down at about the 42-yard line. Looking at other scores across the state, Adam, Colcord takes an early 7-0 lead over Fairview in our other Squirtle game of the week that's being played at Hera Class A semifinals.
Well, there's a lot of question about, you got what, 4 undefeated teams left, right, in Class A? With
Yes.
Hominy and Gore and Colcord and Fairview, and typically the thought process is, and no offense to the East Side, it's the same. It's like the opposite in 6A, but in small school, normally those West Side teams are typically the more dynamic teams. But this year, it looks like Gore and Colcord have every bit of chance to hoist up a gold ball as Hominy, and I still call Hominy a West Side school, even though they're right there, kind of in central area. This is going to be a big run.
Cody Peaster up the middle, and he is in a foot race that he will win. Touchdown Seiling, and
touchdown Seiling.
Get on the board first. Take a lead over OBA.
You could tell early on that play. I mean, the official even lost his hat there. But big hole, great job blocking up front by the offensive line for Seiling. And Peaster takes it to the house. Peaster's one of those kids, too. If he gets in the open field, it's tough to bring him down.
You know, in that game early in September between these two teams, OBA jumped out to a 22-0 lead and really held on to that big lead for the rest of the game. It's going to be interesting to see how the Trojans respond here with some early adversity, being down 6-0 and perhaps 8-0.
Well, and the other thing you got to consider, too, is Seiling did that going into the wind, which I think is going to be the biggest factor of this game. Little option.
And he's in there. 2-point conversion is converted for Seiling. That takes the early 8-0 lead.
Let's take a commercial break, and we'll be back here shortly on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
Welcome back to the Squirtle Game of the Week, Class B semifinals between Seiling and OBA. Seiling takes their second possession after a pass interference call on the defense when a Cody Peaster 50-yard touchdown run, and then Caden Manuel converted 2-point conversion. They take the early 8-0 lead over OBA here in the first quarter.
That was a great drive, obviously, for Seiling. Having done that in the win, and obviously they were, helped out by the pass interference call, which was the correct call. I don't even think that OBA probably thought that they were going to be throwing the ball. It looked like they were in press coverage whenever the ball was thrown. So, fantastic start for Seiling. It'll be interesting to see how OBA responds.
Seiling's kickoff goes out of bounds. So OBA will start their second possession on the 35-yard line.
I don't know I don't think this wind is going to let up, too, from having looked at the forecast earlier on. It's amazing to watch the officials. Their hats keep blowing off of them. It's crazy. Look at that score. Wasso and Bixby are tied up at 7-all early.
That is the 6A1 state championship game being played at UCO. Stillwater won a state title earlier today over Choctaw. I believe that was 26-21 score, also played at UCO. How about that Heritage Metro game yesterday, Adam?
That was crazy.
Handoff to Judge Cheatham going left side.
Great job there by Blake Shane for Seiling.
Judd picks up about 1 yard on that play. Bring up second and long for OBA. And their Trojans are having trouble getting the run game going early.
This time they got the edge set, much better job, but fantastic pursuit by Rush Hunt. Great job off the edge. The Seiling's defense has a lot of speed, and I'll tell you what, Rush, you remember Al Hunt, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
At Northwestern? Maybe Rush Rush is playing a little inspired tonight, being that he's playing on his dad's home field. That was a big-time play there by Rush.
Well, he came up from his safety position and really made a great play there on the edge on a guy that's not very easy to bring down, Judge Cheatham. Big 3rd down and 9 here for OBA.
I think that's going to delay a game. Unless they got a timeout. That'll delay a game.
That's going to make this 3rd down even more difficult for the Trojans to convert. It'll be 3rd and 14 now from their own 31-yard line.
Obviously, early on, one of the two teams, they will start the play clock now. One of the two teams, you see kind of who strikes first and who gets over the jitters, and obviously Seiling started this game. Obviously, you can tell better than OBA. These games typically are waves of momentum, so Team OBA can survive this to get a big play here.
Boyson going to the air, and he completes it.
Nice throw. He's going to have the first down. Great job.
His number 21, Harry Nunez, making a great play after the catch to get across the sticks and moving the chains here for OBA.
It was one of those scenarios, too, where you saw Boyson. I think he was just didn't know how to get rid of the ball that went behind him. But a great catch, like you said, by Nunez. A big-time run after the catch there to get the first down for OBA.
Had a guy all over him from the moment he caught that pass, and somehow got the first down for OBA. Boyson keeping it himself, and he'll lose yardage. That Seiling front is really controlling the trenches so far in this game, Adam.
Yeah, it's up front. They're making it difficult. You got to get the front line obviously blocked to have any kind of success out of the edge, and Seiling has been impressive so far.
Boyson keeping it right side, and it's the same result. OBA keeps trying that right end, closest to us in the press box. And I'll tell you what, Newt Hutchinson probably has about 10 tackles by now. That guy has been dominating that edge. It's been a no-run zone for OBA so far. 3rd and 9 here for OBA. Let's see if they go back to the air with Buddy Boydson. They don't. Hand off to Judd Cheatham, and he is stopped after about 3 yards. He makes it to the 49-yard line of Seiling. He's going to bring up a big 4th down play for OBA.
And there's a flag down, too, as well. You could see because the wind's blowing so hard.
I can't tell what is a flag and what's just trash blowing across the field. Holding on OBA is the call, and that's declined by Seiling. So, again, we'll have about 4th and 7 here.
It's obviously a big play here.
Screen to Ian Easton, and he is going to be, what a great play. It looks like he made it right to the sticks. It's going to depend on the spot, but he got hit 3 or 4 yards prior to the first down and somehow put his head down and got a first down for OBA.
I think that's going to be first down.
They called it. It is first down, OBA.
Once again, very impressive by OBA on 2 pass plays. It was the pass to catch was impressive, and then the run after was the big part.
Yards after contact, keeping OBA's offense on the field. Adam, it's interesting. You always hear playing a team twice in the same season. Seiling has really come out perhaps more aggressive than OBA so far, but see how OBA counters this early aggression by Seiling.
Yeah, these games are away from momentum and emotion. This time they'll double move. Actually, he had Nunez there over the inside of the field, but great great job coverage. It was 45 again for Seiling, and Newt Hutchinson he has been making huge plays.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Judge Eater, going to bring up second down and 10 at the 42.
Second and 10 here for OBA. Looks like Judd Cheatham is under center. He takes the snap, makes a cut, flag down.
Nice run, man.
Cheatham is still
Wow.
going. Carried a guy about 10 yards there. It will be a first down for OBA. Let's check the flag. Another holding for OBA, and that will back them up and negate a really big play for Judd Cheatham.
You're starting to kind of see a little bit of the momentum swing OBA's way. Obviously, the big runs after the pass plays, and there Cheatham drug the defender about 10 yards. I don't know if it's because they knew there was a flag. I think that's just Cheatham's legs and the offensive lineman helping with the push. But, man, that could be a very devastating penalty on a drive that looked very promising for OBA.
I think that's already, 3 or 4 penalties on OBA, so they need to get that cleaned up. They're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit here so far early in this football game. Boydson back under center for this play. He's going to throw it.
Whoa, that ball just sailed.
A pass intended for number 35, Jacob Colby, who had a terrific game last week against Dewar, especially defensively.
I don't know if Boydston has been practicing any of the throws with a 65-mile-an-hour wind at his back, so I think that's where a first example where you're trying to do a touch throw downfield. The kid has a great arm as it is, and that wind definitely helped him there. We just saw a score, Andy. Winoka leads Tipton 8-6 here early on. I saw that Gore was leading Hominy, so both the East Side schools and A are leading, and Bixby is now taking a 14-6 lead over Wasso in 6A1.
We'll keep you updated on those scores throughout the state. It is 3rd and 17 here for OBA. Little screen here to Cheatham. Makes the first man miss, but can't make the second man miss, so it's going to be about a gain of 1, if that. Brings up a big 4th down play here for OBA from Seiling's 49-yard line.
Make sure we give a shout out to Jansen's GMC as well as Jeff Eaton, Eaton Insurance Agency, and they have an office here in Alva as well as in Enid. But without both those two guys, we wouldn't be able to continue to put on these playoff run for OBA, and we want to thank them as well as any of the other sponsors that you see down in the bottom right-hand corner or commercials that are played throughout.
Boydston punts it, gets a lot of help from the wind, and that's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback.
It's another scenario where the wind is a big, you obviously want to get a scenario where you don't turn the field like that so much. So that really only helped you about 20 yards of field position, but you're still making Seiling go into the wind.
For another 2 minutes and 56 seconds here. Okay, let's see what Seiling does on their 3rd offensive possession here, up 8-0. Timeout, Seiling. We'll take it with them. We'll be right back on the Squirtle Game of the Week. My mistake. We're having a few technical difficulties here in the booth, so we're going to stay here.
You get more of Andy and I.
Get to hear us talk. Adam, let's talk about OBA just for a minute. 2 years ago, they're playing 11-man football. They dropped down after the 2020 season for an independent 8-man schedule. This is their first season in a district in Class B, and they're 13-0 in the state semifinals.
Well, I think a lot of us saw that coming. I mean, if you're familiar or follow along with OBA at all, they were successful in a very tough district in 11-man. You know, they were making the playoffs, and it just became a scenario of not having enough numbers, and it was the right choice to be made. You know, OBA traditionally played 8-man football too before in the past, so it was just the right fit. I think they made the right choice, and obviously you're seeing the fruits of their labor, here.
Manuel with a quarterback keeper on first down there for Seiling, runs for about 13 yards and a first down for the Wildcats. Adam, really the difference in this game so far, Sealing's been able to run the football, OBA hasn't.
Yeah, it's the big difference. You're right, and we talked about that at the intro. Who can be more physical? You know, who can run the ball? Right now, obviously, the big run by Seiling is the difference so far in this game. And OBA, it's been the mistakes. It's been the penalties, which we haven't seen them do that so far this year. But major props to Seiling so far. It's a good run by Manuel.
Manuel with 4 yards there on first down, sets up a 2nd and 6 for Seiling from their own 35-yard line.
And this first quarter is going by really fast. Man, look at that wind. It is crazy.
It is just amazing. You all at home probably can't see the debris that we're dealing with here, but it is just crazy. The flags, the uprights, these guys and these fans are really enduring through some tough Oklahoma weather here.
And that looked like a scenario Boydston may have been either held or pushed in the back, but good run there that time again by Peaster. Peaster just needs he doesn't need a whole lot of room, and he's got so much speed and good size too back there. What a great run again by him.
Cody Peaster, a senior for this Wildcats offense. He is listed at 6'1", 165, and he has some speed to him, Adam.
Yeah, he does. We saw him in that big run, and it's one of those things too, is he's patient and he doesn't overrun plays. Really impressive so far.
It's Peaster in the backfield with Manuel on this first down play for Seiling. Looked like Manuel probably should have pitched that out to Peaster there, but keeps it himself up the middle for about 5 yards on first down for Seiling.
Well, and I mean, +4 and +5. I mean, if you can get that kind of movement and yardage, that's big. And obviously Seiling has got the recipe so far because they're getting 4 and 5 yard runs and busted a long one, and OBA on their offensive possessions, not a lot of success running the ball.
There's Peaster again. He crosses the 50-yard line and gets stood up. Looks like Boydston there on the tackle for OBA, but he gets to the Trojan 49-yard line, brings up a big third down play here. 3rd and 3, or maybe 3rd and a long 3 here. Adam, this isn't the only rematch going on. We also have USC versus Utah in the Pac-12 championship game. Tyler has it on over here. It's currently scoreless.
Looks like USC just scored.
USC just scored. 7-0 Trojans there.
Here's the option. That's going to go. Big room.
Peaster out across the 45 down to the 42-yard line. That's a first down for Seiling. They have a good drive going here as the first quarter comes to an end. That could be the last play that we have here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think they'll be fine with letting that run down so they can get obviously the wind at their back, and obviously Seiling very happy here at this end of the first quarter, and they have dominated this first quarter. We'll take a break here on the Squirtle Game of the Week. We'll be back shortly.
At Bank Central, our roots run deep with a heritage that began over 100 years ago in Alva, Oklahoma. Today, our legacy continues to grow, not only in Alva, but in the other communities we serve, Cherokee, Woodward, and Enid. With our outstanding personnel, the latest in banking technology, and a wide variety of services, Bank Central has the banking expertise to help you with all your financial needs. We're Bank Central, and we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours.
We are back here at the Squirtle Game of the Week, Class B State Semifinals. Seiling, Caden Manuel drops back.
Great job.
Great job by Manuel as he's falling down, completes the pass. That's number 5, Giovanni Duarte, and he carries it all the way down to the 14-yard line. Big play there. Really impressive by Manuel.
Man, that was so impressive. They had him, almost down, and he slipped out of there. I think he was just kind of trying to throw it away, but I guess he kind of knew where he was going with it over the middle because Duarte, like you said, was wide open over the middle.
Jacob Colby had him, and Manuel's falling down and somehow gets that pass completed.
So another big play for Seiling, and now Seiling is knocking on the door again, down to the about 15-yard line. It's hard to tell because the officials don't set the ball until right before the play because the wind's blowing 90. So
OBA's defense needs to make a play here, Adam. You don't really want to go down 14-0 or 16-0 here early in the state semifinals.
Recipe here, this big-time toss play. Great job on the edge by Nunez.
Harry Nunez there with a big play for OBA's defense, knocking Peaster out of bounds. Looks like that's going to be either no gain or a short loss. Again, the referees aren't spotting the ball, so it doesn't blow away. So it's hard for us to really see what yard line they're going to be on here.
Well, and you can see everybody starting to bundle up down there, too. I mean, not only is it windy, but I bet you the temperature's probably dropped 20 degrees or more already.
Big respect to all these fans out here watching this game live.
Nice little shovel pass play, Duarte. Let's cheat him on the stop there.
That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for Seiling from the 8-yard line. And obviously, Adam probably in 4-down territory here in the red zone.
Yeah, if you're Seiling here, obviously, you've ran the ball with success. So, you probably got to just be thinking, too, run plays, anything quarterback run game related, or, hand it to Peaster and see what you get the first time knowing that you're going to have another play.
That is Manuel as he gets down to the 5-yard line. They can get a first down here at the 4, so it's going to be 4th and 1 from the 5-yard line.
A big stop there by big Nick Beckman there. A great job of him getting to the edge. And
Manuel finds a little crease. Looks like he has the first down there across the 4-yard line.
a great job up front by the big guys for Seiling, getting just enough of that push, and then credit Manuel, too, as well as he finds himself a little gap and squeezes through it for a yard.
Looks like we have a man down for Seiling. Oh, he's back up now. Maybe it's 64, Stephen Klinger, I believe. He is back up and in the game. All right, 1st and goal here for Seiling. Ball is at the 3. Manuel and Peaster in the backfield. Got to keep it on the ground right here, Adam.
Yeah, look for the speed option play. Actually, they're just going to run right down the middle. Ooh, good job. Good stop by Cheatham. He's short, about a yard.
Peaster goes airborne. Didn't quite make it to the goal line, so it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1.
Touchdown. So Seiling goes up now 14-0 with the 2-point conversion opportunity here next. Great job by Seiling so far in this game. They've really controlled the line of scrimmage. The difference, like you said, Andy, earlier on, is who can run the ball, and it has been Seiling running the ball with a lot of success so far, and they're about to go up 2 scores here early or in the second quarter.
Speed option there, and it is converted. Peaster perfectly ran the option play there for Seiling, and they take the 16-0 lead.
And we'll stay here, too, as well, and keep it here and talk about that possession there by Seiling. And Seiling answers. Seiling has now had 2 strong possessions offensively. It's been very run-heavy. It's been very multiple. It's been Manuel. It's been Peaster. Obviously, the pass play by Manuel, throwing off his back foot to Duarte, was the biggest play of the drive, as it looked like OBA was going to get out of that drive. But, man, very impressive possession again by Seiling. And OBA really needs an answer here, here in the second quarter. Don't want to let this game get away from them.
We talked in the introduction, Adam, about which team is going to be more physical, and it's pretty clear. I think everybody from home can see it's Seiling way more physical right now than OBA. And if OBA wants to turn this thing around, they're going to have to get a whole lot better up front on both sides of the football.
Well, they need to stop making mistakes, too. The penalties have been killers. They've had a couple drives where they've moved the ball, but penalties have killed them on those drives. And this is a big drive here. Just be patient. If you're Seiling or if you're OBA, try to get a sustained drive here, running the ball, do what you do best. And then, obviously, if you're Seiling, you want to get another stop if you can and continue to see if you can, keep putting daggers in this game. As, you start stretching this lead to 3 or 4 scores, it gets pretty tough.
If we get a good gust here, Adam, this kickoff may land in Cherokee.
Definitely would go through Winoka.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's going to go out of bounds.
OBA will start again at their own 35-yard line for their 3rd offensive possession.
It looks like we've just been informed that there is smoke blowing across the field now. That's kind of scary to think. It has been really dry in our part of the state. Recently we have received some moisture, but when the wind's blowing 65 miles an hour, it doesn't take a whole lot to get a spark going out there. So,
no doubt, sending our best to any firefighters and people in the way of whatever is burning. First play for OBA, Boydston keeps it himself, tries the left edge, and gets a couple.
And that time it's Duarte, and then also on the play is Chain. Great job. Seiling's doing a good job of stretching things out. Boydston is better when he's running vertically at people and doesn't have to bounce to the edge, but Seiling has done a good job making him have to bounce to the edge.
Chain is just a freshman, Adam. Maybe there's no freshman by the 13th game of the season, but he's really playing well so far early in this football game.
Yeah, and Rush Hunt's just a freshman too as well. So Chain, I'm going to guess he's a relative of those individuals from the Chain Ranch out there at Seiling, and those are some tough guys out there. So
Boydston trying that left edge again, and same result, no gain. It's going to bring up another 3rd and long for OBA.
And they just have a spy. I think it's Blake Chain is just spying the quarterback every time. Fantastic job, like I said, by Seiling. Boydston with his forward lean does get about a yard or so more than what most would, but they're still backed up into a situation where it's 3rd and 7 or so.
Third and 7 here from the 38-yard line for OBA. Boydston by himself in the backfield, and he rolls to his right.
Little stick route will come back. Ooh.
He had Cheatham there, perhaps out of bounds, but overthrew him, and it's incomplete. 4th down for OBA.
Yeah, he was way out of bounds. Even if that play would have been made, I don't know if Cheatham was aware of his surroundings. It's one thing where you got to get used to the sidelines here. Another scenario where it just kind of looks like OBA is just a little bit discombobulated. They seemed to play a really great game last week, and credit to Seiling. Seiling is definitely the one playing a much cleaner game so far.
Boydston back in punt formation for OBA. That goes off the side of his foot, and it's going to take a very friendly bounce for Seiling. And you only end up gaining about 6 yards on that punt right there. Everything going Sealing's way right now. But, Adam, we saw this in the first quarter of that first matchup in Seiling where OBA got a pick six, had a punt return for a touchdown, and also a long pass play for a touchdown. It led 22-0 very early, right out of the gate. Seiling closed that gap can easily be done in 8-man football.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's not impossible. The thing about tonight that makes it a little more difficult is this wind, because it's going to be hard going into the wind on any offensive possessions. Sealing's got the advantage here with the wind at their back again.
That option really working well for Seiling early in this football game. Peaster pushed out of bounds. That's going to be another gain of 5 or 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, that's the difference. Everything that OBA is trying to do, it gets stretched out along the line of scrimmage. That time, OBA did a better job defensively, but it was a little bit too late. They were 5 yards down the field, and that's what you're seeing the difference here. Fairview goes up 14-7 over Colcord with a touchdown.
A lot easier for Seiling to convert these second fives than OBA with 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 every drive. Manuel throws that one out of bounds. Just gets rid of it as nobody was open downfield. Good coverage by the OBA secondary there.
We'll have Coach Roth join us.
Shout out to Ryan Reese, who took down our Squirtle banner.
Big time.
Put it in the trunk of his car.
Big
so
time help.
Ryan Reese, thank you, sir.
He's a helper. Giver. I saw them try to reinforce the banner, and I appreciate the effort, but I don't think the banner was going to make it much longer with this wind.
Not beating this wind tonight, that's for sure. Bixby takes a big 28-6 lead over Owasso in the 6A1 state championship game.
Big hole.
Manuel just right up the middle and another first down for Seiling as he reaches the 33-yard line.
It's a great job by Seiling, what they're doing offensively. The option to the edge to Peaster and Manuel keeping it. It's just such a different threat from Seiling. Their physicality and being able to be multiple makes it really hard to stop.
First down play here for Seiling as they lead at 16-0. Hand off to Peaster.
That time you could tell that hole was coming. They ran a little counter play, and they had 2 linemen out there in front. The offensive line for Seiling is getting a big-time push. OBA is going to have to make some type of adjustments here, or this is going to be a long night. Obviously, credit to Seiling. Great play call there by Coach Manuel, and another first down. Got Hunt in the backfield now with Manuel. You'd think this would probably be a run play for Manuel. Let's see how much I know. Oh, I was right. We're going to call a hold.
Manuel makes it down to the 5-yard line, but there are a couple of flags down, so like Adam said, it's probably a hold here on the Seiling offensive line, and it is. Opportunity here for OBA's defense, Adam. You get them in a 1st and long situation behind the chains, and got to make a stop here to keep this lead for Seiling as to only 16 points.
Yeah, this is a big situation here for OBA. They really need to get a stop. Down 2 scores, and that hold call was huge for OBA, and OBA needs to capitalize on it.
Tipton has taken an 18-14 lead over Winoka. That's in the Class C state championship game.
Millwood is all over Victory Christian, 24-0, and Jones and Washington are knotted up at 14. That's an interesting game because that's another replay game, kind of like this one.
Manuel and Peaster in the backfield. And Manuel's going to throw it. No, it's a shovel pass to Peaster, and he has all kinds of room. There is a flag down. The side judge threw that at a DB wide receiver over there. about the 6-yard line. I'm not sure what that call is going to be.
It might have been a lineman downfield. I don't know, but I guess if it's a shovel, is that the?
Well, Hudson Hamer, which we haven't called his name yet tonight, Adam. He's a big-time wide receiver for Seiling, but he was downfield there. Penalty was against OBA, and that's declined, so it's going to be a first down Seiling.
Great play call there by Coach Manuel. They got everybody spread out, and they really like those shovel passes and those underneath plays. I like the play call there, and once again, major props to Seiling here, and they are knocking on the door again inside of the pay dirt.
21-yard gain there for Seiling on 1st and 20. Looks like Seiling can get a first down, but it's just right at the goal line. So they're just outside the 10-yard line, 1st and 10.
Ooh, that looks like he might have hurt his knee.
Yeah, Peaster tried to cut back there, and legs gave out, but he's up. Walking, that's a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign because that did not look good.
He's going to stay in the game, still limping around a little bit, but certainly better than what we thought when that play happened.
Yeah, that did not look good from the get-go.
He loses a couple yards, brings up 2nd and 12 for Seiling.
Nice. Touchdown Seiling. Big time. Oh, I thought they might have spotted him out of bounds, but once again, Manuel and Peaster on the edge. A big time play. Great play by Manuel there, keeping the pitch, and Peaster off the edge for another touchdown.
That option has just been killer there for Seiling so far in this football game. OBA doesn't really have an answer for it.
Well, Seiling hits you so many different ways running the ball. They've got a power run game. They've done a good job with the shovel passes. They can hit you off the edge. They can run with the quarterback. They can run with the tailback, obviously. It's been really impressive so far here early in the game, and Seiling now takes the lead 22-0 here in the first half.
Manuel rolls out, has two guys wide open in the back of the end zone.
What a catch.
Got it to Newt Hutchison. What a great grab there.
He threw that off his back foot, and Hutchison dives out there for the catch. Seiling has all the momentum. Well, that will be a 24-0 score with 3:55 to go here in the first half. We'll be back shortly. We're going to take a commercial break on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
Is your school or booster club?
We are back, opening kickoff out of the back of the end zone there for Seiling, so OBA will take over. 1st and 10, down 24-0. And Adam, Seiling was stopped on their first offensive possession, had to punt to OBA. Since then, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
It's been all about the run game and just very timely pass plays. Incredible play by Manuel on the previous possession to get the pass off to Duarte, and this time the play call with the shovel pass when they're in second and, like you said, second and about Winoka. And it's been impressive so far. OBA really needs to get on the board here.
Their first play, Boydston keeps it himself right up the middle. Gets about 2 or 3 yards, and that's kind of what we've seen from OBA all night.
Yeah, if you notice, the line of scrimmage for OBA is not pushing forward as much as Seiling, and that's been the big difference. Obviously, I'm not telling anybody anything that they don't already know, but the line of scrimmage is currently being owned by Seiling. Big run here opportunity.
It's a fullback dive there by Ian Easton as he gets out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. Will bring up a 3rd and 2, and this is a critical play for OBA.
Well, and that was Colton Bowen there, too, who just barely got a hand on him but tripped him up. It was enough to get a stop, and that was a huge play there.
What do you think OBA dials up right here, Coach Kayot?
Yeah, I'm going to keep it in the hands of Boydston, try to run him.
He is in shotgun with Judd Cheatham there to his left. And you're right.
Big run. Oof. That time Hamer knocked Nunez into Boydston. Good job by Hamer on the edge for Seiling, but first down for OBA, and maybe see if they got a little bit of life and could get something going here.
OBA needed that one as Boydston is across the 30 to the 34-yard line. First down, OBA. 2:33 left in the first half for OBA as they have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Looks like some confusion here, but they have it figured out. Judd Cheatham there in motion. Boydston back to pass.
Ooh, look at Cheatham over here.
Has Cheatham wide open. Boydston's just going to take it himself. He's across the 40 into the 45, and he's going to score.
Oh, wow, they called him out of bounds. I don't know. There's going to be a flag thrown, too.
Looked like it's on maybe Coach Manuel there, personal foul for Coach Manuel. He was really after the referees right after that play.
Sideline warning, yeah.
I did not see Boydston step out of bounds. Perhaps we missed it from our vantage point, but it looked like he was going to score on that play, Adam.
Yeah, he had a lot of green in front of him, and I'll tell you, the officials looked like they helped him out on the call. So I don't know what the official and Coach Manuel are talking about down here, but there's a lot going on.
Yep,
so.
they're getting after each other for sure. Okay, OBA with another first down from their own 48-yard line. Let's see what they can get done here in the last 2:11 of the first half.
Good throw.
Finds Cheatham over the middle, and there's finally an open receiver there for OBA. Cheatham gets across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Good drive here so far for OBA.
Yeah, this is impressive. Obviously, before the half, you still have 2 minutes left to go. It'd be huge for OBA, obviously, to get a score here because they will be getting the ball to start the second half.
Maybe Coach Kayot starts putting it on the arm of Buddy Boydston here. Even though they're against the wind, down 24-0, he might start throwing the ball here.
Once again, that pass across the middle, I think they're going to call a hold, though.
First down for the time being on the pass from Boydston to Judd Cheatham. There's a flag down at the 39-yard line. Not sure what the situation here is, Adam.
I don't know either.
Chain's already moved for the first down. It looks like a legal man downfield for OBA, and that's going to negate that big play for the Trojan offense.
Still with 1:39 to go here in the first half.
Now on the opposite sideline, Coach Kayot is just not happy. These refs getting it from both sides here, from Coach Manuel and Coach Kayot.
A lot of tempers and a lot of emotion, obviously, in this game, and this is a big possession here for OBA. As we all know, watching this game, they really need to try to see if they can't punch this thing in and get some points on the board. 1st and
15 here for OBA from the 44-yard line. Quick pass out to Cheatham. He turns it upfield. Gets down to about the 32. It's going to make second manageable here for the Trojans.
Manuel's out there too. Hunt with the first contact, but Manuel finishes him off. And the 1:13, 1:14 to go here in the first half. OBA still has a lot of time. They have timeouts left too as well.
Boydston back in shotgun, has 3 receivers. Boydston's got to get rid of it, and he does not. He is taken down. That was
Manuel.
That is Manuel, number 9 there, with linebacker. Makes the tackle for loss there, and OBA is going to be, sack for about 10 yards. Loss of 10 there for the Trojans. Looks like they called a timeout.
We'll go ahead and take a timeout with them. We'll be back shortly on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
Proudly offering high-quality insurance to the people of Northwest Oklahoma since 1994, the Eaton Agency strives to deliver exceptional customer service with every interaction. Your local State Farm agents, Jeff and Stephanie Eaton, in Enid and Alva, are ready to help you and your family get the personal price plan that's right for you. So call 580-237-3403 today for your free quote.
At Maples.
47 seconds left in the first half. OBA trying to get on the board before halftime, and Boydston.
Good throw.
Really good throw to Caleb Colby. He is to the 30-yard line. Looks like it's just short of the first down. It's going to be fourth, about a half yard.
They may have given him the forward spot a little better. They're going to give him a first down, Andy.
Wow.
You know,
good spot there for OBA. They needed some help, and they sure got it right there. So first down OBA. Clock is running.
It's 34 seconds and ticking. OBA wants to go quick here, and they've got time, obviously, to run 3 or 4 more plays here. Good jump there by Seiling. Boydson needs to get rid of it.
Boydson throws it out of bounds. Clock is still running. They lost about 2 seconds there. 20 seconds currently on the scoreboard. They should add a couple of seconds to that. I don't know if they will or not.
Fairview's opened up a lead 17-7 on Colcord. So a 2-possession lead for the Yellow Jackets just down the road. Well, they're not down the road, but that's where Fairview is. For anyone that doesn't know where Fairview is geographically from Alva.
You'll never know what you're going to learn here on the Squirtle Game of the Week. Adam teaching geography lessons at Northwestern Oklahoma. Big play here for OBA. They've got to make something happen here in the next couple of plays. 20 seconds left. It is 2nd and 10 from Seiling 29-yard line.
And you see that other score. Velma leads Laverne by a touchdown in the other game. Max Ooh, they got Cheatham. That's going to be out of bounds, though. I don't know what happened there. The ball kind of waffled out of his hand. I think that was the wind in his face.
So incomplete brings up 3rd and 10 for OBA. 15 seconds left to go before half. Boydson has Ian Easton there in the backfield. Cheatham in motion. He's got Cheatham over the middle.
Ooh.
Just overthrew him.
He could have let him out to the ball kind of drifted to the middle of the field, and
yeah, 9 seconds left here for OBA before halftime. 4th down play, 4th and 10 from the 29.
Great coverage there by Hamer over the middle.
Would have had to been a perfect throw to get that in there.
Really would have.
And we have a timeout on the field. Looks like OBA is going to talk this 4th play over.
We'll go ahead and keep it here. Obviously, this is a huge play for OBA, and I know Coach Kayot knows that, and you can't take your timeouts with them. So we talked about, OBA would get the ball coming out of the half down 3 scores right now, and a touchdown here would be huge. You'll cut it to 2 scores, and then obviously have the opportunity coming out of the second half. But major credit to Seiling here. Seiling has been the more physical team, has been able to run the ball, has made less mistakes, and then also here it seems like they've done a really good job once OBA did get into scoring possession to make it difficult for them.
Adam, if you're Coach Kayot going into halftime here, either down 24-0 or maybe you get some points on the board here right before half, what are you telling your team at halftime?
I think you're just sticking to your guns and knowing you didn't play a clean game the first half. And the thing about 8-man football is 3 touchdowns is in a 11 inning games about 1 touchdown, just because breaking the second level and big plays and dynamic plays happen much quicker in 8-man, and so I think you just got to keep them understanding that. I would run Cheatham on a wheel route up here up the top side. Ooh, good play by Seiling.
And OBA cannot get that pass off. As another sack there.
That was Duarte, I believe. Great job by Seiling. And Seiling brought an extra man that time. They kind of overloaded the bottom side. And now with 5 seconds to go here in the half, huge stop by Seiling. And Seiling will get the ball back. And I'm going to guess they might try to put something up here, or they might just take a knee and be happy with it going into the second half.
Looks like they're just going to kneel this one out and be content going into halftime up 24-0. And the clock runs. Seiling is fired up as they head into the locker room there for halftime up 24-0. OBA is going to go back to the drawing board and figure out what they can do to get back into this game in the second half, and they'll receive the opening kickoff.
A lot of time. 8-man football, a lot of time. Seiling obviously had a much more impressive first half, cleaner first half. I think that they did a better job of getting done what they wanted to get done in the first half in opposition to OBA. OBA struggled with penalties, obviously struggled with getting kind of any kind of consistency offensively going, and we'll see what these two teams can do coming out of the second half. But we're going to take a break for a little while, but we'll be back on the Squirtle game of the week.
And Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples, Nix, and Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
At Bank Central, our roots run deep with a heritage that began over 100 years ago in Alva, Oklahoma. Today, our legacy continues to grow, not only in Alva, but in the other communities we serve, Cherokee, Woodward, and Enid. With our outstanding personnel, the latest in banking technology, and a wide variety of services, Bank Central has the banking expertise to help you with all your financial needs. We're Bank Central, and we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get hired, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available. Auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, so visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
This is Game Time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC. We are Autry Technology Center.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options and lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news! The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
Proudly offering high-quality insurance to the people of Northwest Oklahoma since 1994, the Eaton Agency strives to deliver exceptional customer service with every interaction. Your local State Farm agents, Jeff and Stephanie Eaton, in Enid and Alva, are ready to help you and your family get the personal price plan that's right for you. So call 580-237-3403 today for your free quote.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
At Bank Central, our roots run deep with a heritage that began over 100 years ago in Alva, Oklahoma. Today, our legacy continues to grow, not only in Alva, but in the other communities we serve, Cherokee, Woodward, and Enid. With our outstanding personnel, the latest in banking technology, and a wide variety of services, Bank Central has the banking expertise to help you with all your financial needs. We're Bank Central, and we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
For over 50 years, Tulsa Tech has helped people find new career paths, jobs, and a successful future. We've partnered with Tulsa businesses to grow our economy and help train the workforce of our community. During these uncertain times, one thing is for sure. Tulsa Tech will be here when life returns to normal, helping people make their own path. We will get through this together.
This is your moment. You've got what it takes. The grit to get from first steps to finishing touches. You're here to train, to put in the hours. Because today's hard work gives you an edge. To get higher, to earn more, to fine-tune a future to be proud of. Career Tech. Get skilled, get paid.
Scott Streller and team have been proudly serving the Edmond community for over 30 years. At the Streller Agency, we take pride in offering premier service and the highest quality insurance available. Auto, home, life, and more. Our award-winning team has over 150 years combined experience to offer, and we're always working hard to make sure you never have to worry and always have peace of mind. So call or visit StrellerAgency.com today for your custom quote.
Is it time for your school or business to purchase a new phone system? Give the experts at Versatile Networks a call. In most cases, we can provide a phone system with brand new phones for less than your current monthly bill. Call us for a free quote today.
The AMG team is based in Oklahoma City and delivers your organization revenue enhancement through a combination of data science, innovative marketing, and business automation. We think like owners and behave as long-term partners. Delivering measurable results for nearly 20 years has made the AMG team known for our ability to efficiently and effectively execute objectives. We're ready to help raise your organization to a higher level of success, So visit us today at theamgteam.com.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
And we are back on the Squirtle Game of the Week, Class B state semifinal action in Alva. OBA versus Seiling. Seiling leads at 24-0. At halftime, Andy Campbell joined in the booth by Adam Dieselhorst here tonight. And Adam, it's been a pretty lopsided first half. Hopefully OBA can come out and make this thing a game in the second half. But when we look through the offensive possessions for each team, Seiling got the ball first, punted to OBA. OBA failed on a fourth down attempt on their first drive, and then Seiling had 3 more possessions and scored a touchdown and a 2-point conversion each possession.
Yeah, it's been, football is blocking, tackling, and typically physicality at this point, and Seiling checks all those boxes so far in this second matchup. If you go back to the earlier matchup in the season, I felt like OBA was the more physical team. Seiling made a lot more mistakes. But in this game so far through, the first half of the game, it's been really all Seiling, to be honest with you. Even when OBA threatened, I don't even know if they got inside the 20 before they had a couple of penalties. And, tip of the cap to Seiling. I mean, they came out prepared and ready to go. And I know, obviously, OBA's coaches, we talked with them about, how much respect they have for Seiling and, vice versa. But, if you're OBA, you're going to get the ball here to start the second half, and it is crucial for you to get points on the board and get some momentum going your way. And, you kind of never know what happens once you can get things rolling.
Adam, what does OBA have to do offensively with Coach Kayott and Bodie Boydston and Jed Cheatham to get points on the board here early in the third quarter?
Well, I think at this juncture of the season, obviously, you're going to stick to what you're good at and what you do best. But the one thing that I've noticed here is the difference up front as far as the push. OBA's line is not getting any kind of push. Runs where Boydston's normally getting 8 to 10 yards a carry. He's getting about 2 to 4 yards a carry, and it's because Seiling is doing such a good job up front and have schemed these run plays really well. And so, it's not going to be a situation where Coach Kayott goes and they change everything in their playbook. I think it's more just about the effort and, obviously just kind of beating your man one-on-one kind of at this point of the year.
Let's take it to the other sideline. Seiling Wildcats, pretty much everything they've done tonight has gone their way. What does Seiling have to do to keep their foot on the gas pedal and put OBA away in this football game?
Well, I think if you're Seiling, you just kind of stick with what you've been doing. A lot has been working very well on offense, but I have been so much more impressed with them defensively tonight. It is really difficult to shut somebody out just in general in 8-man, and very difficult to shut out a dynamic offense like OBA. And they have just done a really good job. We've mentioned the name Chain a ton. We've mentioned Hutchinson a ton. Obviously Manuel a ton, and those big guys up front are the reason why those second-level guys are getting free and able to make tackles at +2 or in the backfield. And so I don't think there's any secret to what Seiling wants to do. They just come out and keep doing what they're doing. You can't make mistakes. You can't turn the ball over, give the ball back to them, and do anything silly. And I think that if you're Seiling, you're happy where you're at, and you just kind of keep it on rinse, recycle, repeat, right?
Absolutely. And you look at OBA's offensive possessions. They got the ball early there in the first quarter, moved it a little bit, but failed on a fourth down attempt. They punted their next 2 possessions and then got sacked on fourth down there right before the end of the half. So 4 offensive possessions for OBA. They moved the ball a couple of times, but just really couldn't get the big play that we're accustomed to seeing from the Trojan offense.
I would agree. Well, we are going to be back shortly. We'll have Coach Roth on with us. He's going to join us from OBATrojans.tv to talk with us through the third quarter. Maybe he can bring some good luck for the Trojans here in the third quarter. But Andy will hop back on to finish this one off, but we'll be back shortly on the Squirtle Game of the Week.
Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging work seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorse Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorse get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off.
This is game time. Neptune Game Time creates a high-energy game day atmosphere that your players and fans will love. Every song in our database is 100% lyric safe, which means you can stop screening music for good. Game Time also provides custom messaging to help you promote your upcoming events, concessions, and event-specific announcements. And it gives you the opportunity to sell sponsorships on your station that will generate revenue for your athletic department. Amp up your game day with Game Time.
Dr. Devin Nightingale is your chiropractic choice in North Edmond with easy access from Cashion, Guthrie, Luther, and all the Oklahoma City surrounding areas. As a former college athlete, Dr. Nightingale understands the importance of a fully functioning body to gain that competitive edge. Also certified in prenatal and pediatric treatments, Dr. Nightingale sees all types of patients, ranging from 2 weeks old to 97 years old. We offer conservative treatments to get you back in the game, whether you're a weekend warrior or a professional athlete. So give us a call at 405-471-5565 for a free consultation today.
Imagine a school with more than 26,000 enrollments per year, cultivating opportunities for students to develop new skills and gain industry-recognized certification. Now imagine a corporate training center that partners with more than 500 local businesses each year, providing a productive and prepared workforce for employers in Oklahoma through customized training. Now, imagine a community resource who believes our business thrives when our community thrives. We aren't just the local VOTEC. We are Autry Technology Center.
The thing with car buying nowadays is just how many options there are when it comes to where to actually get a car. Dealerships, websites, auctions, private sellers, and so on. But knowing exactly where to get your car loan makes it all much less stressful. That's where Communication Federal can help. There's a reason we're known for auto loans around here. Lots of car options, lots of places to buy, but only one choice for an auto loan. Communication Federal Credit Union.
It's time to stop worrying about what's for dinner. Whether you're planning an event or just need meals at your doorstep, let Devlin prepare and deliver fresh food wherever and whenever you need it. Choose from our variety of fresh catering and prepped meals and enjoy the delicious, nutritious food you deserve. Do what you do best while Devlin takes care of the rest. Visit devlinllc.com to see what we can do for you.
With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
And welcome back to Alva, Oklahoma. We're about to wrap up halftime here in your Class B semifinal game featuring the Seiling Wildcats and the Oklahoma Bible Academy Trojans. It's been all Wildcats in the first half, and there's no other way to describe it. It's been all Wildcats. They've dominated the line of scrimmage, and as a result, they've dominated the game. Kind of a mirror image or a negative image of the season, the game earlier in the season when they played each other. OBA dominated early, Seiling dominated late. It just couldn't come back enough. OBA's got a lot of work to do to come back in this one, though.
Yeah, you've had a kind of a back seat to this watching the first half, Coach Roth. Kind of what are your early thoughts? I know you kind of just mentioned that, but what are your early thoughts so far of what you've seen?
Well, like we've said multiple times, you said it, Andy said it, it's been a story of the trenches, really. It hasn't been dominated by any quote-unquote skill player. It's been a story of the trenches, and the Seiling Wildcats have owned the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. We had a flag there on the kickoff. I'm not sure we had somebody offsides or what, but they kicked it off, and a flag came out immediately, so we might be pushing it back 5 yards and starting over here. But the Seiling, give credit to the Seiling coaching staff for game planning appropriately. They came out and they were ready to go. Maybe a little more playoff experience in the black and gold kind of showed early on as well. So we'll see if the Trojans have found a little rhythm here at halftime.
Yeah, and that the rematch is always tougher on the team that has won the first one. So that was another thing I was interested in seeing.
For sure. Judge Cheatham receives the kickoff, brings it out outside the 40 to about the 41, and that's where the Trojans will take over here in the second half. You might notice we have a little bit clearer picture here, a little bit clearer skies. The wind is still blowing. Don't get me wrong. The flag is still standing straight out. The goalposts, I don't know about you, but there's been several times tonight I've wondered, are those going to stay up? Because they were shaking so hard. But we don't have any dust bowl going on here to start the second half like we had earlier in the first half.
That was wild. And that flagpole, I thought, was about to bend over.
It was
snapped in half.
It was madness. So Boyce in the shotgun by himself. Cheatham comes in motion, fakes the handoff. He's going to take it up the middle, finds a little gap, tries to get the outside edge. Spin moving. Bodie's up the sideline and tackled at about the 43, you think? You guys mentioned it several times. It's kind of hard to see the spot because they're not really putting the ball down because it'll blow away.
I'd say 42 probably. 42.
Yeah, looks like the 42 is where he's standing. He's just going to stand over the ball there. You see that a lot on television. They stand over the ball because teams are subbing in the hurry-up offense. They're standing over the ball so it doesn't blow away here tonight. Tight formation now for Boydston under center. He's going to hand it off to Easton. He's trying to get the edge for Ian Easton. Hasn't had very many carries tonight. Forced out of bounds at the 35.
Much better job here early on up front by OBA. They're getting a push, and it's leading to open space for the ball carriers.
Absolutely. You talked about it earlier in the first quarter that football has ebbs and tides and momentum shifts and all that kind of things. Got to be tough for Seiling to maintain that intensity for 4 full quarters, and we'll see if OBA can take advantage of that. Boyson back under center. 2 receivers wide on each side. Fake the handoff to Easton this time. No edge. They set the edge just perfectly there. They're not letting the Trojans get outside. Everything is between the hash marks.
And that was Duarte there that time by Seiling coming up to make the tackle. And you're exactly right, Coach Roth. That was a great job on the edge by Seiling there.
Traditionally, you'll see the Trojans run Cheatham in motion a lot, and they get the edge pretty much at will with Cheatham's speed, and that's just been denied them tonight. There's no edge. Everything is between the hash marks. So we'll see what the Trojans can do here. About third and what did you say, about 3.5?
I'd say about 3.5, yep.
Yeah. Boyson in motion is going to be back to Easton. He's got about 1.5 yards, definitely 4-down territory. There's no reason for the Trojans to punt at this point, and they need points. So I'd be shocked to see them line up to punt here on 4th down. Only about 1 yard carry there for Easton.
And that was Hutchison. Again, we mentioned his name many times in the first half. Great job on the backside pursuing and dragging down Easton on the run.
Yeah. Seems like, I don't know about you, it seems like in just listening, we're calling a lot of different names for Seminole and just a few names for OBA, and that's a big difference. Boyson trying to get the edge. Once again, denied the edge. 4th, that'll be a turnover on downs for OBA. Ian Easton is down on the ground on the far hash mark.
Well, and that was assignment football there. What a fantastic job by Manuel. He was assigned the running back that time on the play, and another great job on the edge by Seiling to get the stop, and we'll be a turnover on downs.
So the Seiling offense takes the field, wind dead in their face, as it's been for the whole first quarter. It didn't seem to bother them then, so I don't anticipate it bothering them now. We'll see what adjustments James Cheatham and the OBA defensive staff have made with their defense here. Manuel takes the snap. Going to be a steady diet of Peaster here in the second half, just like it was in the first half. He's got the edge, and he's out. Was that 10, 15, 25-yard carry there, forced out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Like you were talking about at halftime, no real reason for Seiling to change what they're doing. It's going to be a steady diet of Manuel and Peaster out of the backfield here only a couple of touchdowns, and we're flirting with a 45, so why change? Manuel taking the signals from the sideline. Peaster in the backfield, and 1 receiver on the far side of the field, which is going to hand it off to Peaster between the tackles, so to speak. brought down there from behind by Caleb Mendoza for OBA. Mendoza's a great story. Never played football before this year, junior in high school.
That is awesome.
He's never played football before. His parents grew up in Hawaii, father's Air Force. From Hawaii, they moved to Alaska, and from Alaska to Enid. And this is his first ever experience playing football, and here he is in the state semifinals.
Yeah. It's a great story.
So Manuel directing the troops out there, kind of telling them what he sees, taking their time, real deliberate pace here from Seiling, and rightly so, no reason to hurry. They're going to run that play clock down as far as they can, make this quarter go as fast as it can. So we're just under 5 seconds on the play clock. There's a snap option play.
Big play.
Yep. Manuel gets the edge. Jub Cheatham's the last line of defense there and forces him out of bounds at the 20. Never a good sign when your free safety's leading your team in tackles.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Judd Cheatham's leading the Trojans in tackles tonight.
Well, when you have a dynamic player at the quarterback position that, can run like he can and be so physical, and you have the speed and Peaster, it makes it so difficult. You just put so much stress on the defense, and that's really been the difference tonight so far in this game.
Right. In previous games, Cheatham's been allowed to kind of roam free back there. He's having to plug holes tonight. It's just a way different role than we've seen him have to do in the past few games. Manuel in the shotgun. Peaster behind him. Right up the middle. It's not fancy, but when you average 4 yards of play,
yep,
that's all you need to do is average 4 yards of play. So nothing dramatic. Nothing's going to get on SportsCenter or anything, but it's effective. What's that line in Remember the Titans? It's like Novocaine. It just kind of wears you out.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you hit it on the dot. Obviously, Sealing's doing a good job, too, of running the play clock down. I mean, that's another thing that I didn't mention at halftime. If your Coach Manuel, shorten the game.
Right.
Take the least amount of possessions you'll give them. So.
Right. We're already down to about the 8-minute mark, 8:09 to go in the third quarter. Nice deliberate pace here from the Wildcats. Peaster in the backfield, one man in the slot, going to be an option to the near side.
Good
quarterback
cut.
keeper, nice cut. Good read there by Manuel. Forced out of bounds again, and there's number 10 for OBA, Judd Cheatham. Judd Cheatham and Manuel and Peaster really should know each other by the end of this thing, because those three guys, they're meeting at the end of every play. You know a name we haven't heard called a lot here from the OBA defense tonight, number 35, Jake Colby.
We have not. You're right.
He's been dominant. There's no other word for it in the past 2 playoff games for OBA. And he's been non-existent defensively tonight. And you got to give credit to the Seiling coaching staff. They've schemed and game planned. They're not running towards Jake Colby tonight. Not very often. So, again, Manuel is going to be an option right up the middle. Actually, Colby looked like he dove in there and got the shoelaces on that one and brought him down at the 4-yard line. A little bit of a limp there from Manuel when he comes out of the pile. I'm guessing just after missing the fourth quarter in the last game between these two teams, he's not going to let a little limp keep him out of the game.
No, and that was a great play call again there by Coach Manuel. Once again, they have to respect the edge, and then Manuel up the middle, it's tough to bring him down.
Yeah, he's a strong young man. Looks like he's mostly thighs. I don't know him personally, but that young man looks like he's mostly thighs. A lot of strength there. Option play.
Nice
great
cut.
pitch. Nice pitch there from Manuel to Peaster, and he just plants the outside foot, cuts upfield, and he strolls in, and now flag comes in way late. So I'm going to guess that's some sort of unsportsmanlike.
Well, we kind of had the breakdown at the half of what both teams had to do, and really so far the first 2 possessions of the second half have looked a whole lot like the first half itself.
Yeah, it has.
So.
It has a lot like it. Maybe a little bit slower pace, but other than that, not a whole lot of difference. So they're signaling the touchdown's good. Unsportsmanlike on Seiling. So something was said there. Not going to speculate as to what that was, but something was said there. But, yeah, you're right. Same song. What is that, 4th verse now?
Yeah, exactly.
with a touchdown for Seiling. And as you said at halftime, we sound like a broken record a little bit, but no reason to change the game plan at this point, not for the Wildcats at least. Key for the Trojans here is there's no such thing as a 30-point play. They can't try and get it all back in one play. That usually is a recipe for disaster. So going for 2 here. Looks like we had a little equipment issue there. Manuel and Peaster in the background once again. Or is that Hunt in the background?
Yep.
Backfield, yeah. Manuel just keeps it around the edge. And that's the difference. We've talked about it twice now. Sealing's getting the edge anytime they want it, and OBA is not.
The offensive line for Seiling, and this is, they're the ones obviously with the pep in their step, with emotion, and they're playing with a lot of fire, and OBA is walking off the field. Not a good sign here. We'll take a break here in the second half. Seiling leads 32-0 in the Squirtle game of the week.
Ready to get back in the game? Great news. The movement experts at Physical Therapy Central can help you find relief and results and keep you off the sidelines. With over 30 convenient locations across Oklahoma City and beyond, contact PT Central today at ptcentral.org to see a physical therapist.
Proudly offering high-quality insurance to the people of Northwest Oklahoma since 1994, the Eaton Agency strives to deliver exceptional customer service with every interaction. Your local State Farm agents, Jeff and Stephanie Eaton, in Enid and Alva, are ready to help you and your family get the personal price plan that's right for you. So call 580-237-3403 today for your free quote.
And we are back, Ranger Field, on the campus of Northwestern Oklahoma State University, hosting the Class B semifinals. And it's all Seiling Wildcats, folks. There's no other way to put it. There's no sugarcoating that as they prepare to kick off. Now, they are kicking off from their 25. So as was pointed out here during the break, great field position likely for the Trojans unless just something drastic happens as they tee up the ball. We'll see if we can keep the ball on the tee this time without having a holder.
They're going to try it, aren't they? That wind has let up some, believe it or not.
Yeah, the flag is not constantly standing straight out. Occasionally there's a little ripple in the flag. And so he's going to kick that.
Whoa,
wow.
Look at that thing.
It's coming backwards. Look at that.
Well,
Seiling might get that ball. They did.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That was crazy. That ball flew in the air to about the 45 and then just stopped and came backwards to about the 50 and came down, and Seiling just caught it in the air. I don't know how Coach Kayot and OBA could have prepared for that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And you saw Cheatham run up as quickly as he could to try to make a play on the ball, but unfortunately Hutchinson – had what a play by him, and we have mentioned his name a bunch tonight.
He's had a really good night.
Has had a heck of a game for Seiling. Man, that is not the way you want to start the second half if you're OBA. You don't capitalize on your first drive. Seiling goes down and basically does what they did the whole first half, and then you get the you said maybe a onside kick. That really wasn't an onside. That was the oddest looking thing I think I've seen. But needless to say, same result.
Coach Manuel's a great football coach, but I'm pretty sure they haven't been practicing that one in Seiling practice. I could be wrong. You never know. But Manuel in the shotgun formation, Peaster behind him, one receiver kind of in the slot there. So we're going to see a steady diet of runs here. Handoff to Peaster right up the middle. Runs headlong into the nose tackle, but still drives forward for a couple of yards. Nick Beckman there.
Well, and that's the thing. This first time this game, these two teams played, there was a lot of negative yardage for Seiling, and that has not been the case tonight. Seiling, even when OBA seems like they have the play sniffed out, they're getting the forward lean. We covered the Dewar game, and, man, that was a big thing I noticed from OBA in that game. It seemed like they just had the forward lean, and they had all the extra yardage that whole game.
Yeah. It's we talked about it a lot with Boydston just falling forward just with his height, but Seiling's whole team is falling forward.
Yes,
on every play, it seems like. Again, handoff to Peaster up the middle. This one's kind of stuffed.
Good job there.
Kind of bulldogged him down there. Harrison Crow with the tackle. We haven't called his name very much, number 50 for OBA. Actually didn't play in the first game between these two teams. Harrison Crow was on, I guess, the high school equivalent of the injured reserve for that game. Came back for the Cherokee game, was Harrison's first game of the season. So Harrison and Jackson Crow, two key pieces of the Trojan defense, and I think that's the first time we've called either one of their names the whole game.
Yeah, and we've called that name a lot. We called that name a lot in the Dewar game. I know for sure he had a heck of a game in that game.
Right.
But same thing. That's one time we did see OBA get a stop there, so 3rd and long. This will be interesting here for your Seiling. I see him do something on the edge with the option or maybe some type of a shovel pass play.
All right, they're going to go option. Nothing there. That's probably the first time OBA has held the edge, I think, all game long. Nice play defensively from OBA. The end took the quarterback, the corner took the pitch man, and there was nowhere to go, so that'll bring 4th down. If I'm Seiling, you have to think about, do you just want to go for this? See if you can keep the clock running.
Yeah, because if you punt it, it's going to end up in the end zone behind you.
Right, in that same wind, and you can't. There's no such thing as an onside punt, so there's no advantage in that. So they are going to punt it. So
I'll tell you, Hudson Hamer did a good job of keeping the punt really low the first time he punted, and that's what you want to try to kick a low on a line drive, or maybe even angle it out of bounds if you can. But
from the line of scrimmage, Judge Cheatham is only about 17 yards deep on the line of scrimmage. Just like you said, that's just a little squib line drive, and it doesn't even get to Cheatham. So what, 14-yard net there maybe?
Well, I mean, that's probably as good as you're going to do.
Right.
Yeah,
in this.
I mean, that ball like just stopped in midair. That's just crazy. This wind has been crazy. But, ultimately, I don't feel like it's been as big of an effect in the game as I thought it really would have been. I feel like both these teams, obviously Sealing's the only one that's putting these points on the board, but I feel like OBA had that drive before half. Their best drive of the half was right into the wind, too.
It was, with the wind in their face, had 3 consecutive completions before stalling out just outside the red zone. So 2 receivers wide on the far side. We got 1 in the slot. Ian Easton's going to stay there and just help pick up the blitz, and it doesn't work. They rush 4 there, and down goes Boydston trying to climb the ladder into the pocket, and it collapses on him. There's nowhere to go. That's been one of Bodie Boyston's strength throughout the years, extending plays, giving his receivers time to get open. And there was no opportunity to extend there. He stepped up into the pocket, and the pocket just collapsed on him.
They had a great job in coverage. I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you were watching the quarterback, but I was watching the secondary, and all 3 of the routes were covered really well by Seiling.
Yeah, great job. So, again, 1 back in the slot, 2 receivers wide on the far side of the field. Boydston's going to roll out to his left. Going to try and throw across his body, looking for Cheatham. Ooh. It's deep, just overthrown. And, that's kind of the reverse effect of the wind. You don't think about throwing with the wind in your face. You get the wind at your back. Maybe it carries a little farther than what you're used to. You guys mentioned it in the first half. Bodie Boydston has a rifle of an arm, but usually that completion is money. It's usually cash money, and just sailed right over Judge Cheatham.
Yeah, it seems like they're having difficulty on the sideline throws, too. I will tell you this, I helped coach 8-man football back in the day, and we played some semifinals games with these temporary sidelines, and the numbers kind of play tricks with your mind, and I think I see a little bit of that on those routes.
And I'm imagining as they throw it out in the flats to Cheatham, and he makes a positive yardage run there, but I'm imagining out of your peripheral vision, you're seeing the thick sideline that you're used to seeing, and you're seeing that thick white stripe, and you're thinking that's it. So it would be very easy to just kind of run right over that tiny little line that's just outside the yard markers.
And obviously, scenario here, I mean, if you're OBA, with the wind at your back, you could probably flip the field pretty good on a punt, but I think if you're Coach Kayot, I think it looks like they will punt here with 4 minutes still left to go here in the third quarter, but you're down, 4 scores.
To the point, yeah.
Well,
they're going to go. They're in the shotgun formation. Got a slot receiver. Cheatham comes in motion, so now 2 receivers on the far side. It's kind of a what do you got to lose kind of moment. And he's going to go deep to the near side. Corbin Burrell, the intended receiver there. And it just kind of sails deep on him. Great coverage, though. Yep. That would have had to drop right into the bucket for Corbin Burrell to pull that in, and Manuel's right there in coverage. Or that's Hunt. I'm sorry. Hunt was right there in coverage.
Well, a big stop there if you're Seiling, too. And now Seiling has a short field, obviously, at the 32-yard line. And you mentioned it now. Seiling puts another score on the board. Now you're threatening a 45-type scenario. And so
not a situation the Trojans are used to being in, that's for sure. So, again, Peaster in the backfield. Got 1 receiver wide to the near side, 1 in the slot. Another situation where I'd kind of be surprised to see him put it in the air. As you called earlier, probably an option.
Mm-hmm.
They go right up the middle with Peaster.
Like you said, 5 yards. It's just, that play looks like it's going nowhere, and the next thing you know, you see the down marker move 5 yards.
Right.
That's because the line's getting a 3 or 4 yard push.
Right, it's kind of deceiving to the eye because contact's made almost immediately, but it's still that contact is 2 yards down the field, and then if he just falls forward, boom, 5 yards. It's maybe just 4. It looks like 2nd and 6 maybe, but 4 yards is all you need. You're moving positive yardage. So same formation for Seiling. Manuel takes the snap. He keeps this one. He's going to put it in the air. He's going deep. That ball just hangs up and stops, but that's going to be pass interference. Judge Cheatham just drug him down.
Did you see that ball stop?
It just stopped.
That was crazy.
Because he was behind Cheatham, and he had to slam on the brakes, and then Cheatham couldn't slam on the brakes, so he just kind of pulled him down to
looks like there may be a hold
second
also.
flag also, so we might have offsetting. We'll wait for a signal from the white hat out there. Both teams are walking back towards the original line of scrimmage, so we do have a hold and a pass interference. So we're going to offset those and do it all over again.
Well, that was a big penalty for OBA because that was going to put the ball down and probably about inside the 20-yard line, but now we'll just replay the downs. So kind of a OBA catches a break there.
Yes. It's a big night. All I can think of right now, I don't know about you, but I used to like watching the old NFL films, and I'm thinking of the NFL films, The Wind is Like a Raider. Have you ever heard that one?
Yeah.
I can't quote the poem, but wow, that's a very good description of what's going on here tonight because it just stopped that ball.
It did. Midair. The punt and that pass. And Manuel's got a good arm, just like Boydston.
Yes.
He can really get it out there.
That ball turned nose up like a punt almost.
Good
Pister
run.
around the edge. And again, it's Judd Cheatham with the tackle.
Talked about the forward lean. There again, Pister, Cheatham makes contact at about the 22, and he drags him forward to about the 16.
Yeah.
Pister's a big, tall kid, too. I mean, they got him listed at 6'1" and about 165. I mean, that's tough to bring down.
Yeah, and also when you consider Judd Cheatham's a generous 5'5", maybe 5'6". Now, he's built like a fire hydrant, though. He is strong. But that's a unique matchup when you have that kind of height. That's hard to get down. Again, letting the play clock run, taking their time, getting plays in. Really smart football here from Seiling. It's a shuttle pass right to the middle.
That's Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt's in there. He's scrambling, trying to get in the end zone that his dad scored in. Didn't quite get there. Brought it down at about the 1.5. Mendoza there with the tackle. So it looks like Pister's in the slot there and Hunt's in the backfield. And a sub running off the field late for OBA. Seiling generously waits and lets him do that. 2:11 to go here in the third quarter. We hand off up the middle. Hunt, Boydston gets around the end and makes a tackle. That might be a first tackle for loss we've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And if it is a tackle for loss, it's a half a yard.
Well, and I think Coach Manuel's upset because he wanted him to get the playoff because not only did he liked the alignment that he had, but OBA could have got a flag because they were running a player off late.
Yeah, it is almost like they just said, yeah, go ahead. We'll wait for you.
Mm-hmm.
So tight formation here again for Seiling. One receiver out here on the left side. I guess a slant or a fade could be possible, but why risk that in this wind? So I'd expect another handoff to Hunt or a quarterback keeper. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper.
Touchdown.
Near line judge signals it touchdown for the Seiling Wildcats. So add 6 more for Seiling.
I mean, this 2-point conversion is crucial. I mean, they both are. Obviously, if you want to keep them out of a 45-point scenario if you're OBA. But Seiling's been successful, I believe, on every 2-point conversion that they've had. They have been, I mean, it's 3 yards, and they've been getting 3 yards about every time they
they're
tote
batting
the rock.
1,000 on 2-point conversions for sure. And they haven't even really had to go too deep in the playbook either. They're not mixing it up to get 2-point conversions. They're just doing the same thing.
Did you see that wind all of a sudden?
It just started. It's like there's a fan and somebody keeps switching on and off because the flag is just straight out and the goalposts look like they're going to come crashing down on the players. Option to the far side, pitch to Hunt, and he's going to get into the end zone that time. 2 points for the Seiling Wildcats. 1:23 to go here in the third quarter. It's 40-0 now for Seiling. Just a thorough domination so far. And we talked about it in the last break. You can just look at the body language out on the field. Seiling's jumping around, celebrating, and OBA just shoulders slumped. You can see the bad body language. Coach Chris Chaos got to find a way to fix that and get those guys a little more energetic, or they could be going home early tonight.
Yeah, and that's a tough part about a game like this. You put so much more emotion, you pour so much effort into a season, and coaches are great motivators and can do a fantastic job of motivating kids, but ultimately, it's hard to get kids to realize that there's still a chance, and especially when you get into a scenario like this, and then you're also the kid that's on the other end getting beat every play, and so it's kind of one of those situations where you see this a lot in these big games where one of the other teams gets a lot of momentum, and it's not that they're that much better than the other team. A lot of it's the emotion and momentum of these big games.
Yeah, the momentum has just never shifted after those first 2 drives. OBA gets a stop, Seiling gets a stop, and then it's been all Seiling from then on.
I'd say I was checking some other scores from across the state. This one is very surprising, obviously, but another score that's incredibly surprising to me is Gore is just all over Hominy. It's 40-0 there.
Wow.
Fairview still leads, kind of a local team. In our area, they lead 24-14 over Colcord. Tipton is all over Winoka. They're up pretty big in that game, and so obviously we're pulling for all the Northwest Oklahoma teams.
Right, for sure.
Millwood leads 42-6. Millwood is a Squirtle Network school, so we got to pull for them
Pull
too
for
as
the
well.
Falcons, yeah.
Washington leads Jones 35-14, another Squirtle Network school too as well. So a lot of great games out there going around. I know there's some basketball games out there on Squirtle too if you're in basketball season mode yet.
Some of those folks have finished up football and started basketball, and we're back underway. This is on the ground. Probably
the best kick of the game.
Yeah, it's probably to OBA's benefit as Cheatham gets around the far edge, and that's going to be probably the best special teams play for OBA on the night as he gets out to near the 50-yard line. One of the Seiling Wildcats getting up a little bit slow, but
that's Hutchison, man. He's a warrior. He's been hurt the whole game, and he keeps going out, coming in, going out, coming in. So.
Back and forth and making plays. The second he comes back in, it's like he's going to come out right now. What's the over-under on if he makes a play on the next one he comes back in? Because it always seems to work that way. He limps off, takes a play off, gets back out on the field, and makes an amazing tackle on the edge.
Seth Whetstone they just brought in the game. That is a good-looking freshman. They got a good freshman group at Seiling. I'm telling you, the Chain Kid and Whetstone and Hunt. And, they got a bunch of good freshmen
and you
on this
can't
team.
measure the value of this experience.
Sure.
Pitch to Cheatham. Again, they just string it out to the sideline. And that's Whetstone that made the play, right? Forced him out of bounds?
I think that was Duarte that
was
time
it Duarte?
on the top side. Whetstone is the end on this side of the field.
Okay. So just consistent. We could probably just put that on a tape, and you and I could go get a snack. They strung it out. They strung it out to the sideline and forced Cheatham out of bounds. It's the same song.
It has been that way.
Over
I
and
give
over.
major credit to Seiling, and it's right at the line of scrimmage too. So OBA's not getting any forward lean.
Right. Which is shocking after there's going to be a hold on OBA. Just drug him down from behind.
And it really doesn't matter because
no.
Duarte came from the backside. Whetstone was there to set the edge. Whetstone's sister is a starter on the girls' basketball team. She's a post player for Seiling. Kind of one of the unheralded kids. Usually post players in Seiling's the type offense that Seiling runs, the style that they play, which is just suffocating.
Yes.
But she is a big-time player for them, and I know and have conversations with Coach Hamer, he always is mentioning, how big of a deal it is to have a great post player, and she's kind of the unsung hero of their group.
It's a good anchor for the girls basketball team. Their number 1 ranked girls basketball team as the first rankings came out this week.
Yeah.
Even though they haven't played a game yet.
Yeah.
They're still sitting at the top of the rankings.
They were. We saw a lot of teams this summer, and they were as impressive as anybody that we saw this summer.
Boydston bobbles the snap a little bit, takes his time, is trying to buy some time, and there's no one to throw to. There is no one to throw to. Look at that.
Ooh, he got hit hard too.
Boydston takes flag comes in late. Got to wonder if some lineman kind of gave up and just grabbed hold.
You get a lot of that back and forth type stuff, and people get moved, and a lot of times it's not even on the lineman. The linemen are engaged, and they can't see even really where the ball is, and the defender kind of moves their body, and they get it. It's easy to see those holding calls.
Yes, and the field opens up. Like you were talking about earlier, that was more of a coverage stop for Seiling's defense. The line got some push there, but they weren't really pressuring Boydston a whole lot. He just had nowhere to throw the ball and really no lanes to run through. So that was a great job in all levels of the Seiling defense on that one. So 4th down for the Trojans, looking at about 4th and 18, but at this point with 31 seconds to go in the third, Coach Kayott figures we might as well go for it here. We've got Bodie Boydston's arm. Flings it out. It's complete to Jake Colby. Not near enough. It's down at the 48, so that's still going to be about 7-8 yards short. So that'll be first down for Seiling with the opportunity to go down here and end this thing on this drive. 23 seconds to go in the third period, and Seiling has the ball. We'll see how aggressive they are in trying to score before the end of the period. As you said in the first half, they might just run a play and let it run out and get the wind at their back and try and finish this thing off with the wind at their back. Coach Manuel taking his time, making sure everybody's on the same page here. Play clock's only at 22, so they've got plenty of time. A lot of discussion going on out there with the Seiling offense. Trojan defense seems to be just kind of patiently waiting. Now they're ready to go as Manuel Calls the signal. Hands off to Peaster up the middle. A little bobble there, and he could be gone. Kind of depends if he can shake Judd Cheatham. What an open field tackle from the junior, number 10, Judd Cheatham. Just a giant hole there, blasted open by that Wildcat line. Just you could have driven a Mack truck through that. It was. I'm not going to comment on your speed, but I'd like to think I could have gotten through that hole. That was a massive hole.
I could have got 10.
Okay,
maybe.
yeah. I might have gotten to the linebackers, but I could have gotten through the hole at the very least. They're going to let the clock run down. That's going to be the end of the third quarter. Seiling's knocking on the door. It's 40-0 at the end of the third, and we'll be right back here at the Squirtle Game of the Week.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
And we are back. Northwestern Oklahoma State University in Alva, Oklahoma is the site of the Class B semifinals, and the Seiling Wildcats are looking to end this thing early with a 40-0 lead and knocking on the door to get to 46. So there's a snap to Manuel. He's going to take it right up the middle. Boydston disengages from his block, but still, like you said it over and over, 4 or 5 yard gain there.
Yeah, and a great job there by Boydston. Heck of a play. Looks like Manuel's cramping, so.
That's interesting. You expect cramps early in the football season when it's 100 degrees, but this time of year, you don't really see that near as often. But let's give him some credit. Manuel's carried the ball about 70 times tonight. So
seems like it, right?
He's probably a little tired.
I think you're going to see a lot of Peaster here. So if you're OBA, knowing that's who the ball is going to be going to. So,
not that there is an advantage to having your starting quarterback injured for a chunk of the season, but you get into this situation where he's cramping a little bit, you're prepared for that.
Yeah, so Blake Chain is in now at quarterback, which, like you mentioned, he has played a lot of time there.
Handoff right up the middle. Another 4 yards or so. It'll make it third and about 1.5.
I can tell you one thing that I've been observant in the second half about. There's somebody just wearing their horn out up there on that hill. I mean, they may their battery may be drained. They might not be able to make it out of here.
Right. I don't know if you can see on our Squirtle camera, but up on the hill outside the southern end zone, you can park your car, and a lot of people, due to the wind, have gone out there and moved their car down there and are watching the game from the comfort of their car. And like you said, somebody's just wearing out their car horn. Not that it's annoying at all. We're just saying. So we're only about a minute into the fourth quarter here. It's going to be an option play. He's going to go ahead and pitch that out to Peaster, and he's going to try and get the edge, which he does. And forced out of bounds there. So it's going to be another first down for the Wildcats as they continue their march towards the end zone. Looks like they're marking him out at the 20. That might have been a situation like you were talking about earlier. They kind of lost track of where the actual out of bounds is because both of them ended out almost on the thick white line before the tackle was made. No flag was thrown, so. But first down at the 20 for the Wildcats. They can gain a first down just right at the 10-yard line. Manuel's still over here on the sideline. He's laying down the training staff, working on trying to work that cramp out. But Seiling's not missing him at the moment since he's gone out 3 positive yardage plays for the Wildcats.
Big run. Great job blocking.
Way to cut back against the grain. He's going to get in. Touchdown. Judd Cheatham was there, made contact, but could not bring him down before he crossed the plane of the goal line. What a great cutback from Peaster. Went into the hole. It was almost like a zone read run play. He cut into the hole and then planted his right foot and cut left. There's a man down. And before there's any celebration from Seiling, they're going to check on their teammate.
So I believe that's the game. That will make it 46-0. And, you know, obviously want to make sure the players are okay. But before we end this game, we need to just talk about what a great season it was for both of these teams. Obviously, Seiling is moving on to the state championship game in a very well-earned semifinal victory. But tip of the cap to OBA. One of the best seasons in their program, and great seniors on that side of the ball, great coaching staff, fantastic community. They've been super supportive, obviously having lived in the Enid area. They do a great job of supporting this team and this program, and major credit. It was a great season for OBA. Probably didn't end the way that they wanted to.
Definitely not. 4 seniors on the OBA roster: Boydston, Jake Colby, Harry Nunez, who we didn't call his name very much tonight, usually a pretty prolific receiver for the Trojans, but this wind, I think, probably nullified that. This wind and Seiling's coverage. And then Holden Caldwell is the 4th senior. So four graduating seniors ended with can only be described as a record-breaking season for the OBA football program. Not into this territory very often, but look for Coach Kayot to have the Trojans back on the winning side of the ledger next year as well, as they return a lot of guys. Handshake going on at the middle of the field. Obviously, body language, the OBA guys are disappointed, but one of the great things about getting old, like me, is it gives you perspective.
Yeah,
and they'll look back on this season when they're our age and have just a bucket full of great memories, and the pain that they're going to feel here in a little bit in the locker room. That's real.
Sure.
That's been a lot of work for those guys, but in the long term, in the long run, that bucket full of good memories will by far dominate this short moment.
And this is the best part of the game, in my opinion. I mean, this is really cool. Both teams can gather after the game is over with, and the most important part about all this, and you see teams compete. Last week, the same thing happened after the Dewar game. You saw OBA and Dewar at midfield in a game that was very similar as far as how it ended. But fantastic showing of class by both of these teams, both these coaching staffs and programs.
Yeah, you don't get to where these two teams are without a lot of hard work, but a lot of integrity and a lot of character goes into that as well. Obviously, Seiling has had this one circled on their calendar for a while with the hopes of getting to see OBA again, and they took well advantage of that. What a hardworking group of young men. And they worked through a lot of adversity this year. I mean, you lose your leader and your starting quarterback in, what was it, their 3rd game of the year?
Yep.
And have to kind of fight through that and still win your district. And now they advance to the state championship game next week, still to be determined who they will face.
Yeah, let's look at that score real quick.
Laverne and Velma Alma it was a really close game last we looked.
I go to the old trusty Squirtle app. It looks like Laverne leads 40-36. Another thing, too, about Seiling's community, that is a community of they're very used to winning. So you see all the support, fans coming down on the field. I know it means a lot to Coach Manuel, probably, and Coach Hunt. I believe it probably means a little more to them doing that on this field where they played, college football. I think that's probably a special deal for them. And we talked about it. I think if Laverne wins, I think you could probably see that game back here. I think Northwestern does as good a job as anybody at hosting 8-man. Their staff does a good job. They care about it. Sometimes 8-man gets kind of pushed off to the side in comparison to Class A and above. And I've always been happy that they've had the games here in Alva or in Weatherford. I think both of those communities do a good job of supporting 8-man. And Northwestern does a fantastic job. So if Laverne wins that game, I could really see that game being here.
Yeah, they've done a great job hosting us here in Alva, the folks at Northwestern. And really, when I say hosting, I just mean they had good food for us.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So
and they had Pepsi, too.
That's
who has Pepsi? It's,
right.
It's
Orange
better
Crush.
than Coke.
Where'd Orange Crush come from?
That was amazing.
But they took good care of us here at Northwestern. Congratulations to the Seiling Wildcats as they move on to the state championship game. Will be next Friday. Hopefully right here in Alva.
Yep.
That would be great. Like you said, Northwest Oklahoma represents all that's great about 8-man football, so hopefully they can make that happen and have 2 district foes meeting in the state championship game.
Well, I want to say something before we shut her down. We want to thank you guys being a Squirtle Network partner. We got to cover a lot of OBA games this year. We had a game of the week earlier in the year. Well, I had a couple because we had you guys with Seiling. We had you with Ringwood. We had you last week with Dewar, and then we had you guys this week, and you guys do a fantastic job. I always tell people all the time, I don't think people realize that the people that are running our network aren't people that are employed by Squirtle. It takes people a long time to figure out, and I'm like, how do you have 70 schools live streaming? I mean, we don't have that many employees.
Right.
So, but it's schools like you guys that take it serious. It's a lot of work. Scott Hofen's over here. Mr. Hofen has done a fantastic job. He's somebody that reaches out to me a lot throughout the year to figure out ways how to make things better, make your production better. And you guys do as good a job as any small school. And I know how difficult it is to have the resources to do it. And I want to thank you guys from Squirtle for being such a great network partner.
Well, we enjoy it. The feeling is very mutual. We have a great time doing it. Coach Hofen and I get to have a lot of fun calling the football games. And as we transition now, whether it's unfortunately, I don't know, we'll transition now to basketball season, and we'll be back up and running with on OBATrojans.tv, watching a little Trojan and Lady Trojan basketball coming up on the 13th will be the season opener, taking on the Blackwell Maroons.
All right. Well, you wanna send us home? We need to make sure we give thanks to Andy Campbell. Andy,
absolutely,
fantastic job. Andy is one of the one of the guys that does a lot and spends a lot of his free time helping with Squirtle. I can't thank him enough. He hosts our Pick'em show. He kind of helped me out tonight because Tom Nelson and Todd Miller and some of our other guys were unavailable, and I can't thank him enough. And also, he rode with me, and it's nice when I have somebody to ride with me on road trips too as well. So.
Well, we're going to experiment on our ride home. I brought my paraglider, and I'm just going to hop out the window here, and I think the wind will take me back to Enid. As we head into next week. Thank you all for tuning in to Squirtle and the Squirtle Game of the Week. We'll see you down the road.